Grand Puba.
Yeah,
Shout out to Brand Nubian, who's obviously one of the most legendary hip hop groups ever, and also one of the most slept on groups of all time.
Absolutely, yeah.
All for One is a classic.
Absolutely.
But yeah, again, it's just like you're out kicking your coverage here on your age. What were you listening to fucking Brand Nubian back in the day? Like,
no, I mean, like, I listen to a lot of Puba's solo stuff. Like, I really like the 2000 album, and like, you know, obviously, like Dante, when I first like
your
linked up
manager's
with him,
a hip hop historian. He's a fucking OG. Shout out to Dante Ross.
Dante Ross, you know, and like when I started working with him, I definitely like went through the catalog of albums that he had worked on, and you know, a lot of them I was already familiar with, but like,
it's kind of like doing some digging,
yeah. So I kind of like re-explored it through that, and like, you know, there's definitely some dope joints on the Puba record. Amazing is one of my favorites, and fucking
were you guys in
the bar sample? I don't know why I love it.
Were you guys in the studio like together for this record? Or?
Nah, that didn't happen. We just basically, the story on that is like, shout out Mike Shav. He had sent me a beat, and he had sent me a bunch of beats. And like I just kind of wrote like a bunch of shit on that beat, and then when I was like playing back an early version of the album for my managers Dante and Salim, we were like figuring out what we wanted to do with features and like what songs we were keeping, what songs we weren't.
Right.
And like the name Grand Puba came up, and we were all kind of like, yeah, that would actually be kind of crazy. And then just kind of worked out like that. Yeah, he sent us a verse, and then he sent us a hook like a day later. Like just was like, yo, I'm gonna add another level of sauce on that for the young guy. You know what I'm saying?
When you're growing up, right? What is your core artist that you're listening to? Kind of, because you're kind of coming up in an era where, I feel like, you know, post-blog era.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would say Joey was a big artist for me. Mac Miller was a big artist. Gun, once I found Gun, which I was definitely a little later on, but like, you know, once I found him, it kind of like commandeered a lot of my taste. And Doom was another one.
Doom, yeah. Yo, it's crazy how much MF Doom is like translated to kids, man.
Yo, dude,
my kid's in high school. My son's in high school. He just graduated, but him and all his friends love MF Doom, and they're fucking like.
My man Mac turned me on to Doom when I was probably like 14 years old, and like
he's having a resurgence with like kids.
Yeah,
though.
well, he's just, you know, he's ill. Like I don't know, like TikTok, I guess, I don't know, but he's also just one of the best ever, so that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, it's insane, man. Shout out to MF Doom.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely. Shout out to Mac Miller, Doom. Who else did you say? You said West Side
Joey.
Gun.
Yeah, Joey, Gun.
The whole Griselda shit.
Rock Marcy, another one for sure.
Yeah.
I would say ASAP, Flatbush Zombies, definitely.
I just met the guys from Flatbush Zombies at the Fourth Rope wrestling
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that shit was cool. I almost went to that shit. The one in Vegas?
It was from midnight to 4 in the morning.
That's pretty crazy.
I went to Friday Night SmackDown, went to my room, took a nap, and then I was like, fuck, am I really about to go to this fucking show at midnight? I'm like, I guess fucking so. It was fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
They had JBL came out, the Hardy Boys wrestled.
I saw The Godfather came out too.
The Godfather came out with Joe Hendry.
That's crazy.
It was insane. It was a night, dude.
Didn't Nick Nemeth wrestle?
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. Everyone was there, dude. It was fucking nuts.
That's crazy.
It was a good time. Somebody.
Yeah, I gotta give credit because I went to the one in Chicago, and that shit was like, you know, it kind of like reinvigorated like my love for wrestling, just being there and like having all of that.
Going
like,
to the Fourth Rope thing.
Yeah, man, because I grew up really into wrestling, and like I kind of like stopped following it. And it's not like I'm like watching everything now, but I'm like definitely keeping up way more now than I was.
Yeah, out of all the events we went to that weekend, that was probably my favorite. Like Mania was cool, but this year Mania was a little underwhelming.
You went to the Sabu's last match or something?
No, I didn't go to that. No, that was. I picked between going to SmackDown or going to that, and I went to SmackDown.
That's probably the right choice.
Plus, I probably made the right decision. Sabu's fucking 60 years old.
Yeah, I saw you got like
bloodied.
Yeah,
I don't want to fucking be there.
It looked rough.
Nobody wants to be there for that. Yeah. Everybody said he was like telling everybody how high he was on coke. Like, I'm really fucked up on coke. And I'm like, nobody wants to see a coked out 65-year-old guy taking bumps. Well, different types of bumps.
Yeah,
obviously.
what type of bumps? Yeah.
Two things could be true. He's taking bumps in different ways. So you grew up being a wrestling fan. You're kind of getting back into it a bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I was like a really big wrestling fan. I used to go to shows with my pops, like indie shows, you know what I'm saying? So like I was into like all of that shit, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, and it's cool to see how much of like an intersection wrestling and hip hop really have, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, shout out to Wale, Smoke DZA. I think we're like early, and then Westside Gun and
yeah.
And those guys, obviously, I mean, Gun's taking it to another level with the Fourth Row promotion. It's fucking sick. It's
but
amazing.
There's like a lot of like wrestling like references that even go back. Like even Grand Puba had some lines, said something like off the top rope, like Superfly Snooker or something.
No. I think wrestling and hip hop are synonymous with each other, man.
Yo, bro, and I always say how similar it is, like being a wrestler versus being a rapper. As a rapper, you could be like a heel or a face. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I'm kind of like a tweener. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
it's true, and it's like, and a lot of rappers, like, there's obviously what you present to the public is one thing,
right?
And there's obviously like some, like I feel like a lot of wrestlers are like, there's a lot of like their true person, whoever they are, away from TV.
Oh no, definitely
in their character, but there's still like you have to play up the character on TV.
Right. You know, the best.
And a lot of artists is like, you know, you at the end of the day, like when you're on camera, when you're on that stage, you got to get into that mode. Like, all right,
100%. Like, you know, the best way I say it is like, you know, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying? Like that, Larry David is really Larry David in that show, but like he's up in the ante. You know what I'm saying?
Great. You're a Curb fan?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the best comedy ever.
Yeah, it's probably the funniest show. Like that.
I think it's the funniest show ever.
Yeah, like that show like genuinely makes me like laugh out loud. Like, that show and Always Sunny. Like
Always Sunny's. You know what's funny though?
Always Sunny is like 6. Sometimes I
think I knocked out the first 4 or 5 seasons, and then it just got to the point where I was like, this is a lot.
All right, but what would you like? What's your like favorite show of all time?
Show?
Yeah.
The Wire.
Okay, that's a good
so
one.
I like The Wire, Breaking Bad.
Sopranos.
Those are my main 2. I loved Game of Thrones, but the last season and a half sucked dick, so it kind of ruined it for me. Huh?
No Sopranos?
Sopranos is up there for sure. Sopranos in the top 5. And then I would probably say...
Yeah, I just finished... Me and my girl watched Breaking Bad like a minute ago. Like, we were obviously late on it, but yo, that shit was so crazy.
Better Call Saul is fucking amazing.
Well, she got bored watching that shit.
See, that's the same thing with my girl. I try to get into season 1. There's not enough action.
Yeah.
But you got to get through the first season.
I mean, we got to like season 2. It's still kind of slow. But like, I don't like watching shit alone. Like, I'd rather just be like writing or something.
There was a show that my most slept on show ever. There was a show, the first show on FX that popped. It was called The Shield. With Michael Chiklis, the bald fuck who played
Michael Chiklis?
This guy. The Shield.
What the fuck? That's a crazy name.
No, you know him because he played the motherfucking dude from Fantastic Four. This bald fuck. You've never seen this guy? This is the actor. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
He was in Fantastic Four.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, watch The Shield. It's so good. Oh, also shout out. Well, comedy wise, Eastbound and Down's up there.
Eastbound and Down is funny as fuck.